8 overtimes last night.
Daughter can't even count that high. I mean, how was the overtime period longer than the actual regulation game?
I think it was. I kept thinking it was going to be over, and then it just kept adding up, and here we are. If Georgia would have lost that game, the SEC commissioner would have been so pissed.
They would have got relegated to the ACC, maybe.
Yeah.
It was just intrigue.
Chaos.
That was the best game of the kind of, let's call it Thanksgiving drag, because you still had the Black Friday NFL game. That was the best game.
Yeah.
Right?
Are we just talking college football or college and NFL?
College and NFL.
Yes, I would say that was first. Chiefs Raiders was second.
Okay. I like that. I like that ranking. Good holiday. Good Thanksgiving.
Great holiday. Just got back. We're up in the Bay Area. Drove home. Trying to battle through some sickness, but I'm here. I'm ready.
Okay. We called the turkey dead after this year. No more turkey next year. We're going prime rib. I'm excited.
Wow, really?
Looking forward, yes.
Mutual family agreement on prime rib.
And we might go a little small ham too. A little small ham on the side.
Always have to have protein.
Not a bad move.
Just change the protein around.
And just switch it up. As long as the community casserole is there, mashed potatoes, gravy, stuffing.
Mac and cheese.
Sauce. No.
Yes. That's my go-to. I'm like, Mom, I'm coming home. Is there mac and cheese? All right. I'll be there on Tuesday.
Well, we hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving, right?
Great Thanksgiving. Great weekend of sports. It continues today with Rivalry Week. But before we go forward, I want to go back a little bit.
All right.
52-0. Colorado beat Oklahoma State. The Buffaloes are now 9-3. So my first question to you is, can the Colorado Buffaloes do the unthinkable and have the number 1 pick in the NFL draft and the Heisman Trophy winner?
Before I go there, I just want to call out this game. Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy has come out and said, don't worry. Don't worry. We got this. If Mike Gundy's a smart guy. He played there. He's coached there. What do you do if you want some more money from Boone T. Pickens? You tank.
Yeah.
Gotta buy a team. Mike Gundy's going to turn. To your question, if Colorado does it, if Dion does it, his legacy, his lore,
his stock.
I mean, he just conjured this up.
I know.
He said 5 years ago, I'm going to go coach at Jackson State, turn them around. Then I'm going to bring my son along, making him an NFL draft pick. Then I'm going to recruit the best athlete I've probably seen.
We didn't really even hear about his son. I was like, what is he, a DB? No, that's his other son. His star is the quarterback.
Travis Hunter was playing at Jackson State not too long ago.
Yeah.
And now for him to be probably more than likely the front runner for the Heisman, pretty amazing. I think they can do it.
I think they can do it. Travis Hunter, I'm like, let me look at his stats because, he missed some time. He missed some games.
Data doesn't lie.
I think he's got 92 receptions, over 1,100 yards, 14 touchdowns. And then on the other side of the ball, 4 interceptions, a couple forced fumbles, some big plays. I don't see how he could not get it. He's dominating both sides of the football. Ashton Genty, great, one side of the ball. Cam Ward, great, one side of the ball.
The only thing that could topple that is if Cam Ward takes University of Miami in deep into the college football playoff, or there's just like Carson Beck comes back. Like everyone loves the quarterback, right?
Yeah, they win 9 times out of 10.
Charles Woodson, first guy to do it.
Yeah. Travis Hunter, next guy to do it. Hello and welcome to Big Ben and K-Win. Each week we broadcast live on NoFilter.net and YouTube. If you're watching this live or on demand, drop your comments below. If you're more of an audio podcast, download, listen, subscribe, 5 stars anywhere you get your podcast. I'm K-Win. He's Big Ben. Today, we're going to talk about Rivalry Weekend. I'm so excited I can't even say it. NFL Week 14, I think. I don't know. The Niners are out of it, so I've lost count. And much, much more. Let's get it.
Rivalry Week isn't Rivalry Week without the Apple Cup. I'm sorry. The Cougs won the Apple Cup, the proverbial Apple Cup. But as we saw last night with Georgia Tech, still some good games to be had. Still some great games to be had.
A lot of stuff going on. We've got Notre Dame at USC. Come on, USC.
Ooh, I would be at that game.
Texas A&M. Oh, at that game. I think there was more people at our Thanksgiving dinner than will be in the Coliseum. No one's going to watch that game. We've got Texas A&M winner gets into the SEC conference championship. We've got Iron Bowl. We've got Egg Bowl. But I want to start out here.
Wait. The Egg Bowl was already played.
Old Miss already played?
Yeah, Old Miss already won.
Oh. Well,
it's okay.
I missed it.
It's okay.
I can give Arizona State versus U of A.
Ooh,
the Desert Classic?
No.
High Desert Bowl.
No. It was a Territorial Cup. Territorial Cup.
Can you believe ASU has a chance, win, and they're in?
Into the Big 12 title game.
Yeah.
Man, their coach is younger than me. Gosh. Oof.
Out of all of the former Pac-12 teams, we knew Oregon was going to be good. We thought USC was going to be good. There was a chance U of A was going to be good. Washington State has been good, but ASU, sleeper team.
That school's, you know this, where they're located. That school's always had it. Yeah, I could see the trajectory of ASU being much better than USC moving forward.
Well, if Lincoln Riley's still a coach, yeah.
What game are you most excited to watch?
I'm excited for Arizona State, because Arizona State win and you get in. But also, I haven't seen the dude T-Mac on U of A. Big 6'4" wide receiver. He might be the top wide receiver taken in the NFL draft, top 10 pick. I can't wait to see that game, the rivalry, and see him play. I'm also going to meet some friends for brunch, Notre Dame at USC. I'm excited about that for the first half until Notre Dame blows them out. But it's got to be Texas A&M.
Yeah, first time they played since both of them, or Texas Tech, obviously, becoming in the SEC. An old Big 8 kind of rivalry back in the day when it was just comprised of Texas teams. And A&M's been just up and down, but I think they still control their own destiny. Yeah, more or less. And Steve Sarkisian's, that team's floated on the radar. People say they have a soft conference schedule. I like it. Jimbo Fisher versus Steve Sarkisian, and Quinn Ewers.
Whoa! It's Elko.
Oh, Elko. Yeah, Jimbo's gone. Sorry.
See ya. He's like Eberflus, the Bears. See ya.
I apologize. Can't keep up with coaching changes. Yeah, an all-Texas matchup for the winner to go to the SEC title game, I'd say, would top my bill today.
Okay. Well, I've got so much to get into. I don't even know where to start.
Go.
I want to go through the worst and the best seed for the college football playoff.
Wow, as they are today.
Even kind of think about this weekend and think about what's to come. I'm just talking about the seed. It doesn't really matter about the team. It's the seed because it's who you'll see, and I'll explain why here.
Wait, is it okay, explain. Go on.
The worst seed is the number one overall seed, which more than likely is going to come from the Big Ten. If Oregon wins the conference championship game, they're the number one seed. If Ohio State beats Michigan, they go on to play Oregon. They beat Oregon. I think Ohio State will be the number one overall seed. And why that is the worst seed, because the number one seed will have to play the winner of the 8-9 game. And as it looks now, with all the chaos, you're going to have probably a 2-loss SEC team, whoever loses the conference championship, and the third SEC team that gets in. So it could be like a Georgia versus Tennessee in the 8-9. Winner of that plays the number one overall seed. That's probably the hardest second round game.
So do you see that as, remember like in the NBA, people like kind of jockey, like who do we want to play? Yes. They might rest some players. Could you see that happening in this scenario?
This is where I'm going. My buddy's a Duck fan. Shout out to Mike Riley. He's like, dude, we should lose the conference championship and get the 5th seed, because the 5th seed will play the 12. And who's the 12? It's going to be the winner of the Big 12. So would you rather play Arizona State 12-5 game, win, and then you play the 4 seed, which is probably Boise? So your path would be Big 12 plus Boise to get in, or if you're the 1 seed, you'd have to play someone from the SEC.
I mean, but that's one more game. People get hurt. Bird in the hand.
It's not going to be that physical because it's against the Big 12.
Gosh, you just bury the Big 12 day. Oh, my goodness. I don't think Dan Lanning's probably a guy that says, no, we're just going to win every game.
Yeah.
Maybe you downshift to third gear and put some of those guys in towards the end. You're playing UW this weekend. If you're in Oregon, maybe you downshift. I see your theory. I just don't think it's as a college.
I'm just saying it's a harder road to go through on paper, right? Like you still got to play the games. You got to be in the atmosphere, but it's looking pretty nice for Oregon or Ohio State to play the 12 seed and then win and play a Boise team. I think that's on a neutral site, right? The second round is on a neutral site.
How many games are we getting into? So is that in that call? How many games would a team have played getting into that second round where it's after the first round bye, after the play-in?
So I think everyone has played 12 games. Miami, for whatever reason, has played one more. So let's just call it 90% of the teams have played 12. So you win that. Conference championship would be 13. Exactly. First round is 14th. You need some depth.
I have a feeling you do. And I have a feeling, let's go back. I mean, let's play this out. Texas A&M gets into the SEC title game. Okay. Texas does not have to play another game. But more than likely, they're in the college football playoff. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, in that scenario, though, Georgia would play A&M. Texas is probably going to be an 8 or 9 seed.
Right. Well, at that point, they really can't control the seed, and they just say, we'll take what's given to us. But that gives them another week to prepare, get healthy, and so forth. You're right. The team that wins the conference title might be a little more bruised and battered. If they get to the national title game and say you played the conference title, and you'd get a bye proverbially, but that would be 16 games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You brought it up a couple weeks ago, and I didn't really think about it. It's depth. It's going to be the team with the most depth because these kids haven't played a college football season this long
ever
against this many teams, and you're coming out of these big games and the transfer portal. You don't really have 2 or 3 5-star recruits behind you. You've got Jimmy the walk-on behind you because the 5-star left and got paid and went to Texas or an A&M.
Exactly. There's going to be some no-names that makes them remember in the NCAA tournament, we're like, who's this guy? It's going to be similar in college football playoff, in my opinion. And I want to counter your theory of the Big 12 is soft. The Big 12 is soft. Listen, if they're not throwing punches, blows, and they're not beating each other up like the SEC, do you go in the college football playoff a little less bruised and battered, more refreshed, and probably, I don't know, maybe I might think this first year will be interesting. We all don't know how this is going to play out, but I could see a team that say like Kansas State and TCU a few years back, right? They just made a run. They surprised everyone. No names. Haven't heard of this guy, So remains to be seen. Remains to be seen.
I just think the SEC is battle tested week in, week out. They're playing against all these professional athletes that will move on to the next level. You said it, Big Ten's top heavy, right? If it's not Ohio State or Oregon, who are they really playing against? A bunch of guys who should be intramural football players, 7-on-7. I mean, Minnesota's bad. UCLA's bad. UW's bad. The Big Ten. Remember the Big Ten in basketball? No one ever takes them. They haven't won a national championship since Team Cleaves won it 16 years ago. It's the same thing with football. They'll get all these top-seeded teams, and they're going to lose.
But we're forced to watch their games because it's the middle of the country. Everyone, it aligns with people waking up, whatever it may be. You're right. I'd like to think that Boise had a shot here. BYU's floundered. Indiana just laid an egg. Absolutely.
That game was closer They didn't actually seem based on the box score.
No, yeah, it wasn't close. No. It was. I mean, Indiana just everyone after that first drive scored a touchdown. Just it's going to happen. Then did not happen. Just Ohio State exerted their will.
I don't see with all this chaos how a 3-loss SEC team is not going to get in. There might be 2 of them.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And like I said, if that doesn't happen. If there's any angst, the SEC might just say, see ya, we're going to go create our own little thing. Because, just having Georgia in that game just brought so many more eyes to that overtime game last night. Even though it was obviously a rival game, it wasn't an SEC game. SEC teams just draw eyes too.
So Georgia wins, they're in the conference championship. They lose in the conference championship. Do they get in?
Yes. I mean, the narrative around Georgia has always been they're the best team in the country.
It was last year. They got not invited to the ball.
Right.
There's no way they don't invite Georgia 2 years in a row for losing in the conference championship.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. There's probably some dialogue there from the commish, he's happy with seeing in the SEC and who, he can see not being in. There's probably some conversations around that.
But if you are a Bama fan, you need Texas to win. You need A&M out of there. Bama is holding on for your dear life. You need some chaos.
Kalen DeBoer, 3 losses. First time they've got 3 losses and win. How long? I don't know.
A long, long time.
Yeah.
And Auburn's hot, too. Auburn, that's going to be a tough game today.
I mean, Auburn beat Texas A&M last week.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no joke. That Iron Bowl, you could have a 1-7 Auburn team versus undefeated, and it's going to go down the wire.
And the team on the outside who could sneak in is South Carolina. If they beat Clemson, chaos at the top, Bama loses, A&M loses, South Carolina could be the 4th SEC team sneaking in. Look out for that. They're the hottest team right now in the country.
The country?
Country, you heard it.
Gamecock Nation, you heard it. You are wearing the crimson or whatever it may be. You got Gamecock colors. All right, are we all sorted out on the NCAA?
We are.
We're all okay.
Whatever happens this weekend, we're gonna sort it out again next week.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, I want to talk NFL.
All right.
You texted me. What was your text to me? I want to actually read this.
Yeah, read it.
It perfect. I asked you if you were still sacked from the Thanksgiving. I got NFL. You go, perfect. I stopped watching the NFL.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm a front runner and the Niners are not looking good. You know that horror movie that you don't want to see the end of the movie? That is the 49ers season. They have 3 division losses. Everyone's like, oh, they're in the middle of the pack. Don't look at the overall record. Don't let the overall record fool you. They have 3 division losses. A reeling quarterback, banged up shoulder, no Bosa. Fred Warner said he's playing on a hurt ankle. They're done.
So you got your traditional teams like the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a victory over the New York Jets, who Drew Lock was playing quarterback. Cooper Rush.
Giants are taken for Sedor.
What's that?
You just tried to weave the Jets in here because you're an Aaron Rodgers fan.
No. I was going to say the Jets, the narrative around the Jets coming and say, oh, the Jets are going to be great. Aaron Rodgers. There's all this stuff going on that's not actually happened. Pat Mahomes is the face of the NFL, and he's not even in the top 5 in QBR this season. I mean, like I said, we have Cooper Rush on Thanksgiving throwing balls to who knows who. You got Drew Lock. I mean, Adrian O'Connell yesterday during Black Friday. I mean, they almost pulled it off, but that game was ugly to watch at times. You got Tyreek Hill not playing like he did. The NFL is off this year.
Yeah.
It's off. Why is it off?
It's the have and the have-nots.
Put your Roger Goodell.
This is what I heard. I forgot which talk show host said it, so I can't give him credit. It will be mine. You need a game-changing quarterback now with the rules. Like, all the rules change. You need wide receivers, but more importantly, you need a quarterback. So, like, look at all of the great teams. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. You've got Lamar Jackson. The Lions are the one exception because their offensive line is so dominant is they can just smash mouth football, run you over. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Jaden Daniels. And all the other teams that either missed on the quarterback, have the wrong scheme for that quarterback, are suffering mightily. Like, look at the Jags. Everyone thought Trevor Lawrence was the next Andrew Luck, but he doesn't have the personnel in the system around him.
Not even close. Coaching changes. Like the game, that whole Bears thing on Thanksgiving just seemed like a boondoggle. Like that happens in a JV football game. It's not supposed to happen in the NFL. Like it's just ridiculous at this point. I don't know where the NFL's gone wrong. Maybe they haven't, and this is just a down year. But it seems like everything. I mean, the product out there isn't as good as it has been in the past.
Yeah,
it seems like a down year, and I don't know if the length of the season. Like it seems like there's no urgency around games anymore. I mean, the Seahawks are at 6-5 and they're at the top of the division. It's kind of, all right, we'll wait till the last 3 weeks to maybe start playing. I don't know. Injuries. I'm just here to rant about the NFL, I guess. I don't know how to fix it.
I think it's coaching, right? Like I said quarterbacks, but also look at coaching. Like John Harbaugh, great coach.
Yeah.
Andy Reid, great coach. Sean McDermott, to be determined. He's got a great quarterback. But it's quarterback and coaching. Yeah. And it's a mismatch in Chicago. You've got a young quarterback. You've got a defensive coordinator as your head coach, like Robert Saleh, great defensive coach. But him and Aaron Rodgers couldn't come together on a same game plan that Rodgers wanted from 10 years ago.
You bring up a good point. So I'm going to bring up this idea. You bring up coaches and quarterbacks. It seems as though there's no grooming ground for quarterbacks other than the NCAA football league, right? But yet you talk to, like, Jaden Daniels puts on these VR goggles and throws, and he's like, this is a game changer for me. This helps me develop. Is there a point in time where, because the product is predicated on the quarterback, right? Like if the quarterback's better, the product is better. It's very correlational. What do you do? If you're the NFL, because you don't have good quarterbacks right now.
No,
you just don't. You don't.
So I think you've got to do what is unpopular, and you've got to start the journeyman quarterback, right? Like you've got to start someone else as the younger quarterback develops. I heard somewhere else, it's like the COVID effect too, right? Like you couldn't really scout these players. These games weren't all that real. And then Zach Wilson is like a top 3 pick because you didn't really have enough tape on him.
It's reaching. And maybe there's a course, like there's a course correction here with quarterbacks staying in college football for a little bit longer, get to progress. Because let's be honest, a guy like Zach Wilson comes in, gets hit in the mouth once, throws 3 interceptions a game, his career's over. Yeah. It's done. It's kaput, right? So you're thinking of, how do I groom these kids where Joe Flacco can play a season and come in? Because right now it's these teams drafting. It's like, we got to throw them in the fire.
Yeah. Well, then you look at CJ Stroud. Remember last year, we're like, oh, top 5 quarterback looks great. And then this year, like, he's just throwing all these interceptions. He looks different. He's getting pressured. So maybe it's coaches, quarterback, and offensive line.
There you go. I don't know if that's but then how do you make sure I feel like NFL teams need like a feeder system, like a minor leagues. Like, we're going to draft you, but we're going to actually put you through reps against scouts, other scout teams throughout the week. Yeah. So you're getting reps and you're seeing whatever it may be, blitzes, whatever formation it may be. Because when you call, a kid hasn't seen everything when he comes in the NFL. And then, like I said, he throws 2 interceptions in a game. The fans are calling for him to be benched. He's benched and he doesn't come back.
Yeah. I think you got to do the unpopular thing. These quarterbacks have to sit, and then in the first and second round, you've got to draft offensive and defensive line players. I know I hate it when the Niners, what are they doing? Why do they get the skill player? But offensive and defensive line, you got to get those guys in the first and second round.
What if, along with the draft pick, here's the assurance you get. If you drop a top pick or a quarterback in the top or the first round, it's called the first round, you also get a veteran QB pick.
Oh, wow. So you get to draft a free agent?
Yeah.
NFL veteran? Yeah.
Fallback plan.
What if you could franchise tag without paying an NFL veteran QB just to hold him on your roster?
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, you're right. This whole Joe Flacco, Anthony Richardson thing. Joe Flacco can go play. He threw 3 interceptions that first game, but towards the start of the season when he was opting in, he can win you a game or 2.
Game, yeah.
And he might win you a Super Bowl if you're Joe Flacco.
And there's a little less pressure too. Like if you're coming in week 3 or week 4, than like you're starting out in week 1. Like Sam Darnold, like find the next Sam Darnold in the system. Right. Your rookie quarterback, sit there and learn.
It was an easy decision for the Vikings. JJ McCarthy got hurt, right? Yeah. So he gets to sit back and watch. The last thing I'll say, the advent of the red zone scripts and tells how most people feel about the NFL. No one wants to turn on and watch a game soup to nuts unless it's your team, and maybe not even then. All you want to watch is you just want to watch touchdowns.
Yeah.
You don't want to watch the grit, the grind, the penalties, all this stuff. You just want to watch the touchdowns.
But if you're a Raiders fan, you could never see your team play then. No, the NFL red zone's a game changer, right? Because you either have to have the NFL ticket or you have to live in market. Like I live out of market, so I can't really see the 49ers that much unless they're on prime time. And next year, the way that they're playing, they may never be on prime time again. But the red zone, I get to see all the games, all the action, monitor fantasy football, and see when the Niners miss a field goal in the red zone.
But it's more about what you don't see. You don't see the fumbles, the interceptions, the poor play, the penalties, the coaching snafus, I run off.
Wait. So do you like it or hate the red zone?
I like the red zone. There should be the black zone where you just see all the misery that's ongoing. Like, let's catch up with this team that had a punt blocked in return for a touchdown, or something along those lines. I think the NFL is just propping itself up to appeal to the masses of people who just want to watch touchdowns. And I don't
want action.
Who's Scott Hansen?
Yeah.
He does a pretty good job.
He does a great job.
Pretty good job.
No bathroom breaks the whole time.
No.
That's what, he trains. He starts training on Thursday, dehydrates his body.
Gosh. All right, let's get out of here.
All right. Well, should we give a couple social media mentions?
Actually, I apologize. I got one for you. So we had at Tim Rob Ben. So it looks like it's 3 names. One of them is mine, or it's Tim Robin, but Robin generally 185. He missed 2 digits. I don't know. I like to try to understand what the guy's handle means. Can't gather anything from this one. He's on TikTok.
He's probably lazy. Wanted his first name, and they auto-populated 185.
That's the algorithm, right? Would you rather see 4 SEC teams or 2 ACC teams? His rule is no 3-loss teams. What if those 3 losses were the top 25 teams, Tim?
Exactly. Strength of schedule.
What then?
There's so much chaos. There's going to be 1 or 2 3-loss SEC teams in.
All right. What do you got?
I got at James T. Johnson 456. Would you rather see 4 SEC teams or 2 SEC teams? He says, I'm surprised he got this all in. He probably couldn't put this on Twitter because there's too many characters. Almost want a second G5 instead. No 3-loss teams, but SMU lost only good non-con. UGA embarrassed. Clemson 2L. Miami hasn't looked good in a mid-conference and needed reps against VT and Cal. He's got a point there. It was a little long-winded, but he had some points there.
So what's he saying?
He's saying he wants to see another G5 team that's a group of 5 that's a non-power 5 team. He'd rather see another group of 5 team. He does not want to see a 3-loss team. He obviously does not want to see SMU.
Kind of like that
ACC's out because he doesn't want SMU or Clemson or Miami. So he's down on the ACC. He's down on a 3-loss team. He wants another G5 team.
I think what he's saying is a two-loss Coug team. Is what
your group of 5.
Group of
Tulane
9.
lost. Could Memphis get in? Because Memphis beat Tulane.
It's becoming like remember, how we do this at like college basketball time? Like, oh, you can't seed them above him because they beat them. Joey Brackets is going to come over and start doing college football stuff.
You might have to.
Is it Joey?
Yeah. You're Benny Brackets. That's Joey Brackets.
Okay, take us out of here.
All right. You can watch us live or on demand each week on nofilter.net, YouTube, also Spotify. We figured out how to get video on our podcast. Make sure you drop your comments live, on demand, anywhere on social media. That's at BigBenKwin _ at BigBenKwin _ Threads, TikTok, X, Instagram. We're everywhere.
Blue Sky?
Well, we should be on Blue Sky. I just heard about it last week.
Hey, shout out to Clean and Simple Foods, Kids Cookies. Scan the URL code, or it's not you. Is it the URL
QR.
Code? QR. And JD, get some shipping to Washington. I would have ordered 12 boxes by then, and then resold them.
Are you on Blue Sky?
Good. They're that good. No, dude, I'm on Instagram, and I talked to Grandpa Dean on Facebook. That's about it.
There you go. How's Grandpa Dean's car?
Oof, grocer getter. 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, he pulls into Dillon's, and people are he's roasting the tires. You know, he's doing well at 82.
Does he let you drive it?
I haven't asked, just due to the idea that the back end swings out, and all of a sudden me and Grandpa Dean are in a ditch. So
we should get Grandpa Dean in F1.
He'd be good, dude. The guy can hit the light, that's for sure. Look out, Max. There goes Grandpa Dean. Oh, he'd be good at the time trials. The overall race, I don't know.
All right, we'll get him in there.
Let's get out of here. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.